On, y'all. Week 2, back at it. Here with
That's
Gator
right,
Dave.
baby. That's right. Week two for the cast, and week 3 of college football, man. It's rocking and rolling now, man. Excited for another week, and obviously it's gonna be interesting Saturday down in the swamp, and we'll talk more about that later, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We saved that
No
one for
doubt.
last.
No doubt. So, SEC, if we take a look at a few SEC games, every SEC team is playing at home, with the exception of South Carolina, who's playing Georgia at Georgia.
Okay.
There are only 4 teams that are playing ranked opponents this week. You got obviously South Carolina playing Georgia. You got Auburn, which that's going to be a fun one to talk about up at Penn State for the whiteout, and then of course my Gators playing hosting the Alabama Crimson Tide. So those are the only games with SEC teams playing ranked opponents. So we'll probably kind of focus on those and some of the favorites. I think is where we'll go. And to start with, I wanted to talk about Mississippi State and Memphis. And you might see the Gator back here, as I am Gator Dave, and a big, huge Gator fan. But I graduated from the University of Memphis, so one of my upset picks is about to come up, Mike. So Mississippi State. So they last week I thought they were going to flounder, and they didn't. They took care of NC State 24-10. Um, you know, I think they're going to need to score more than 40 points to win this game against Memphis, and I don't think they can do it. I really don't. They only scored 24 last week on NC State. Memphis has scored 42 and 55. Granted, playing patsies, but Memphis has a run and gun offense. Has for a number of years through a number of coaches. And I think this thing, if it's a track meet, Memphis is going to win, and I think it will be. So my upset special is that you take those Tigers and get those points, and I think you're going to be assured of making a little money off this one, because I think they're going to do well. And I think you've got a twist on this one on the over under, right?
I do, and I actually disagree with you on this one. Also, I'm on the other side. Um, Last week I was on Mississippi State too. I let you talk me out of that one. I'm not gonna do it here. I'm gonna showdown with you on this one. I'm gonna stick with my Mississippi State. I think I look back at Memphis. I do like the over under as well, and we'll get on that in a second. But I look back on Arkansas State Memphis last week, right? That it was a shootout, 55-50.
Yes.
Memphis can't
Yep.
stop a nosebleed right now.
No. No.
Um, Memphis gave up almost 600 yards passing to 2 different quarterbacks for Arkansas State last week. So I think going playing well, they're playing at home, but I think playing Mississippi State, it'll be a day game. It's not like it's a night game. Um, I think Mississippi State with that Mike Leach offense, I think they're going to tear them up. So I'm going Mississippi State, but I do think Memphis is going to compete for sure. So I'm also on the over 62 and a half. I think it's going to be a
Totally,
shootout for
totally
sure.
agree. That's the best bet here, no doubt in my mind, because I think they're gonna. I think Memphis will score some points on them, and that's why I'm going with my upset special here and gonna go with the home field advantage here, since the line's only 3, so
Hey, I
I'm gonna
like
go
it.
with my homeboys. But that over under easy money. You're right. I think that's one of the best bets around right now.
I like it. All right, right on. I'll put us down for it. What else you got
All
for me?
right. So next game, South Carolina, Georgia. 32 points is the line here for the Dogs. So, Georgia had a huge win, against UAB with
Right.
Stetson Bennett. That's the guy that couldn't throw it in the ocean last year, and he had a pretty good day. I dug into the numbers. It wasn't all that, but he had a pretty good day. Dogs won 56-7. And he did rack up 288 yards through the air. JT Daniels didn't play. This weekend they're saying uncertain on JT, but I think this is going to be like last week. I think they're going to put him in early, let him rack it up, and then probably take him out. But South Carolina squeaked last week against East Carolina. I did get that one right, however, because it was a pick'em.
You did. I was watching it close.
Huh?
I was watching that one close for you.
Yeah, I know, because it was back and forth right there at the end, right?
Yeah.
Field goal, walk-off field goal, won it for him. So,
yep.
So I just think, South Carolina got rid of their coach for a reason last year. Georgia has, I think they're out to prove, that they can do it this year. So I am going to go with them to cover on 32 points. I know that sounds insane, but especially against an SEC team. But I'm telling you, their defense, South Carolina's not going to score 10 points. And I think that Georgia can rack up, 40 points, something like that. So
okay.
I'm gonna go with them covering on 32.
So you lost all faith in your boy Zeb, huh?
Yes. Yeah, he might be a smart enough guy being a graduate assistant, but he didn't perform last week and against East Carolina. So there's no way he's gonna make it against that dog defense.
I hear you. I'm not on either side, so I'm with you though. Let's ride. Go Dogs.
All right. So next game I've got is SEC game is Tulane at number 17 Ole Miss.
Okay.
So Ole Miss, another big win last week. Playing another cupcake. Austin Peay 54-17. One thing very interesting about the game is they gave up 440 yards to the Austin Peay Governors. So, got no D, still got no D. That was a problem last year. It's going to be the problem this year. I think it's going to be the Achilles heel going into SEC play for sure. Because I don't think that defense is back yet. Now, Tulane 2 weeks ago stayed with Oklahoma. They both scored in the 40s, and Oklahoma barely won by 7 points or so. So I think here's my bet on this one. The over/under is 77. I think it's another lock it. Take the over. I think this thing could hit 100.
Really?
It is going to be run and gun on both sides of the fence. I know everybody thinks Tulane, but look what happened in Oklahoma. Look at the points they scored. I truly believe that this is another lock on the over. Really good bet for this week. Now, in terms of the, who's gonna win on the points and so forth, I'm not gonna mess with that one because I'd take the over on this one for sure.
Fair enough. I like that one. I may have to jump on that one with you. I'm gonna have to think on it for a while, but that might be one I jump on right before kickoff on Saturday.
Yep. So next SEC game, and we're getting in the big dogs here. So this one is number 22 Auburn at number 10 Penn State.
All right.
Penn State is favored by 7.
Okay.
Now, this is my second most exciting game of the week. Obviously, we'll talk about the most in a minute. But, Auburn beat Alabama State 62-0. Auburn's a high-scoring offense in D1 right now, 60 a game.
Mm-hmm.
The other game against Akron. But it was Akron and it was Alabama State, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've got to remember that they fired the coach for a reason last year. So I'm also not the biggest Bo Nix fan. Obviously, he's had a couple of good games against the Cupcakes, but I think the issue is going to be that Nix isn't going to be able to handle the pressure up there because I've seen him crack many a times, watched him crack in person before, and it's going to be the whiteout, up there in Happy Valley, and I think Penn State's going to make it happen and beat Auburn, and again, I think it goes back to the fact that it's kind of a Trojan horse with these two easy games, and now they're going to play a real team, and I don't see a brand new coach going in there and beating Franklin. So I'm saying at this point, take Penn State to cover.
Okay. So you don't think Auburn? Do you think the whiteout is going to affect Auburn any?
I truly believe yes. Yeah.
Really?
Nix is a cat in a china shop or whatever. He's just not. I think he'll fold
Really?
on Saturday. Yep.
Interesting. So you don't think the SEC experience playing in places like the swamp or between the hedges, stuff like that didn't.
No, mainly because brand new coach.
Right.
Is what I'm thinking. I just don't think they're going to be ready for this big a game this early.
Okay.
It's not going to be 10 or 14, but I think they cover the 7.
All right.
It's going to be 8, 9, somewhere in that range, but it's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be the best game probably to watch on Saturday. Besides the game I'll be at.
And which we will get to.
Right.
So I'm actually torn on this one. I'm gonna put you down for Penn State. I like the pick. I had Auburn +7 initially, but I'm going back and forth with it in my head. So if I had to pick one, I mean I would lean Auburn, but you know what? Since you went on it, let's make it another showdown. I'll jump on it.
All right.
We'll see what's going on. All right, what else you got for me?
Well, we got the game. We got the game.
The game.
So I'll be able to take copious notes because I will be at the swamp on Saturday with my lovely wife, who is a Georgia fan, by the way, but she'll be there rooting for the Gators for this game because we are against the evil empire and Nick Saban, the #1 Alabama Crimson Tide, 15 points over my number 11 Gators. Alabama had another great week last week, 48-14 over Mercer. It's really hard to really pick out the flaws with this team. I mean, I think you could talk about youth, right? That's about all you can do. Well, they're young on the offensive line, and they've got their redshirt $1 million quarterback. That's really kind of all you talk about when you try to figure out the flaws. So I mean, Florida's got they beat USF 42-10.
Yep.
Emory Jones threw 2 more picks, so that's 2 games in a row against below average teams that he's thrown 2 picks, which is very concerning. Other than that, he looked pretty darn good. But I just if he's going to struggle and throw picks against easy teams, what's he going to do against Bama, right? I think it's gonna be a rough day for him. And our boy AR-15, Anthony Richardson, he's coming around.
He's a dog.
Next year's gonna be the real deal. But right now, every time he touches the ball, that's what's amazing. Every time he touches the ball, something big has happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
A big run, a big pass. But I don't have confidence that we're just going to tear it up. I think his Superman his S is going to shrink a little bit this weekend. Not a lot because the guy has confidence. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be a great Gator down the road later this year into next year. But it's Bama, and that defense. They're saying this could be the best Bama defense in 10 years, and that's pretty darn scary. So, I hope it's going to be a competitive game. I really do. I think that first quarter is going to be a blast to be there in the swamp with all the yelling and screaming. But I think bottom line, that 15 points, I hate to say it, I'm a homer, but we're talking business here. The Tide's going to cover. I think We can
Wow.
keep it under 21, but I don't think we can get it under 15. So if we do, then it's just a wonderful thing, you know. But when I'm thinking business and really digging into it, I think it's gonna be you know, we're gonna have a little bit of a rough day. Not embarrassing, but a rough day.
What time is that game?
3:30.
Oh, okay, so 3:30 slot. Well, you'll have the heat on your side at least. What's
The other thing is we might, and I haven't told my wife Nevada this, but we might have a little rain, so you know that could help. The fact that we're rushing to no end and doing well in the run game, so
yeah.
maybe a little bit, but it's on 60%. I always say in Florida, if it's it's got to be over 60%, or it's probably not going to rain. So.
Right. How's your boy AR-15's hamstring? You think he's going to even play? You think he's going to be ready to
I
go?
think he'll play. I think he'll play. I think it'll be just like what we've seen, the sporadic in and out. Now, if it was just a little tweak, like a cramp type thing, we'll see more of him. But I think we will at least see what we've seen as of late in terms of number of plays on the field.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
All right. So
you want to hit yours and
yeah, we can run through them.
You wanted to chat about?
We can run through them real quick. Get your what you think on them. So I'm looking at Maryland -5 against Illinois tomorrow night. I love Maryland. They got Tua's little brother, one of the Tagovailoas, up there slanging it. So I think he's gonna put on a show, and they're gonna take care of Illinois. So I'm rocking Maryland on that one tomorrow night.
I will totally agree with that one.
You like that one?
Maryland beat West Virginia, and Tagovailoa looking pretty good. Passed for 332 yards against West Virginia, 274 last week. And Illinois barely beating Nebraska, and Illinois lost to UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio. So,
yep.
Yeah, I think this is 5 points, man. I think this is, that's nice. That's
yep.
nice.
So I'm jumping
totally
on that.
Agree. I know you're all over that one.
Yep, I'm all over that one. Virginia Tech, West Virginia. So I took Virginia Tech first week to upset North Carolina, called it outright. I'm rocking with them again. I think they got West Virginia this week. I think they're going to catch them slipping. I'll take the 3 points. I think that Virginia Tech probably will win this outright. I think it's going to be sort of low scoring. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. But I think Virginia Tech gets it done, and they move on with a W.
I totally agree. I think that that they win. Seven. Definitely over 3. West Virginia did lose to Maryland in week 1 by 6. In their game last week, West Virginia played some team called Long Island University. Didn't even know they had a college that played football on Long Island.
There you go.
I'm with you here. I think Virginia Tech's going to take it.
Right on. All right, next one I got for you. Utah, San Diego State. Let me get your opinion on this one first. Who do you think, if you had to pick?
So Utah's 1-1, beat Weber State by 23, but lost to BYU. And I think BYU's a pretty decent team, to be out of that Power 5. They're about to go into the Big 12, though. Going to be soon when all the shuffling
part of
takes
that merger.
place.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're 1-1. San Diego State beat New Mexico State 28-10. They beat Arizona 38-14. So I am going to say I would go with those points and take San Diego State.
My man, I'm with you. Let's take the Aztecs at home. I'm rocking with you.
Yep.
Let's do it. That's my pick. I love that pick. I think they're going to catch the Utes slipping. I think they're going to be disappointed after coming off of that rivalry week. Then they'll start off slow. Aztecs get on them, run game get going. It'll be enough for them to cover. I don't know if they win. Utah might sneak it out at the end, but
I mean, 9 points for those two teams, that's a lot.
oh, I love it. I love it.
I think it's a great bet.
I love it. All right, and the last one I got for you, Mr. Gator Dave, we're going to do Oklahoma State and Boise State. Who do you like? Who do you think?
Yeah, so Okie State beat Missouri State 23-16. Okay, that's 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
Then they beat Tulsa 28-23. I mean, both those should have been blowouts, and obviously not. You know,
Absolutely.
those are not powerhouses and very, very close games. So my feel is something's not right in Stillwater right
I agree.
now. So not feeling the warm and fuzzy at all. Now, Boise State did lose to UCF, which, you know, they're okay. 36-31, close game.
It was.
They beat UTEP like they should, 54-13.
Mm-hmm.
I think what makes me feel good about this when the game is on the blue turf in Boise, and I think Boise will cover.
You think Boise will cover?
Yep.
All right, right on. I'm with you. We're going blue turf. I'm all about the Broncos here. I watched that UCF Boise game when they played, and I was actually on UCF side, and I ended up not covering that game because of Boise and how quick they actually jumped out to the start. I didn't think it was going to go that way, but they jumped on UCF quick and early. I think they do the same thing against Oklahoma State. I'm with you. I think something's not right in Stillwater. That water is not still. So I'm with you, Boise State. Let's lock it in, and we'll see what happens.
You got it. So I think we agreed on a lot of those out of SEC games, man. And there's some really good. Like I say, those are over unders we talked about, and those are the big ones. You know, some good locks. I think we pointed out several good games that you sniffed out as being locks. So for sure.
Yeah, absolutely for you too in the SEC. So hopefully we'll turn it around. We had a little rough patch last week, just getting going, getting our feet wet.
Rough start for Gator Day for sure. And you know, he got a lot of crap from his boys. You know, his boy in Tulsa, Don Birmingham, gave him a lot of crap. Even his little brother gave him crap. So you know, they jumped all over me pretty good by the time Sunday came around. So we'll redeem ourselves this week.
We'll definitely get it right. We'll turn it around this week. We'll win some money. Make it happen.
Absolutely.
What's up, Rio? What's going on? What's up, chat? Everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody watching. Good luck this week. Good luck this weekend. Have a good rest of your week. Appreciate it, Gator Dave.
No problem at all. Anytime, Mike.
All right, guys. Peace.
See you guys. Peace out.